Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Friday's Devotional Journal. I'm glad that you guys are here with me. I got up this morning and took care of the chickens and, changed their water out and fed them. And the north side of our house, we get mold-like on our siding. So I seen that on the way back in. And I stopped and got all the stuff that I needed to scrub that down and clean that. So that took me a little while. And then I noticed my dad's cousin lives right across the road from us, and he is in his 70s, and he's such a helper. He helps everybody out. And that would be the only way that his yard wouldn't be mowed, is if he's just busy helping everyone. So his yard wasn't mowed. And I'm not bragging about myself, because he has done more for us than I could ever repay him for. But so I went ahead and got the mower out and went over and mowed his yard, and didn't do near as good a job as he did. He's going to be able to tell as soon as he pulls in. He'll be thinking, oh goodness, Nina's mowed this yard. But so then I thought, my goodness, it's already getting late in the day. I better go in there and eat. So I ate breakfast and then just got out of the shower, and I know I look horrible, like a drowned rat probably, but we're here to learn a little bit about the women that are in the Bible. So today's lady, her name is Miriam. Miriam's story is found in Exodus chapter 15, verse 20. And see if I can find it here. Okay. If you hear anything, I've got the fan going and the washers going, so. All right, let's read from the Bible first. So that was Exodus 15, verse 20. And the Bible says, "And Miriam, the prophetess, the sister of Aaron, took a tremble in her hand, and all the women went out after her with trembles and with dances." Okay, see what the devotional says. All right, let's see what the devotional has to say. Though she had an important task, Miriam is not named in the scripture's first reference to her. Exodus chapter 2, verses 3 and 4 simply tells us that Jochebed placed her son Moses in a basket and allowed her daughter to watch over him. Can there be any doubt that Jochebed had carefully instructed her daughter in what to do? But it was still a hard task. As young Miriam guarded her brother, did she begin to get bored? Or did fear keep her on edge? How long did it take for the princess to find Moses? Yet Miriam waited. This brave child took on the job her mother assigned her and did it to perfection. Once her brother had been found, Miriam, who watched from a distance, came forward and asked the Egyptian princess if she'd like her to find a nurse for the child. Could the princess have expected anyone but the boy's mother? Yet, even though she knew the babe had to be a Hebrew, the princess did not use that information against Miriam or her mother. Brave though she'd been, how grateful Miriam must have been that there was no trouble and that her younger brother would be safe. Many years later, we briefly meet Miriam as a worship leader, following the Hebrews' successful crossing of the Red Sea. And Exodus 15:20 describes Miriam as a prophet. Though her brothers held the positions of foremost prophet and priest, she had an important role, too, in her people's faith life. God had given her a great gift to use for their benefit. But when God gave 70 elders the gift of prophecy, Miriam and her brother Aaron became jealous of Moses. He had a special relationship with God. Perhaps they felt their positions had been lessened. So, like many people, they picked an argument on such a minor point, Moses' marriage to Cushite. Whether this was Zipporah or a second wife is unclear. But the situation caused trouble for their brother. Still, the meek Moses did not react in anger. God did. Before Moses, he confronted Miriam and Aaron with their sin. Why, he asked, weren't they afraid to do this to Moses, before whom he spoke face to face? Then suddenly, God left them. As the brothers turned and looked at Miriam, they must have been amazed and terrified. She stood before them as a leper, her skin white. Immediately, Aaron repented and asked that Moses bring her healing. So Moses called out to God. The Lord commanded that for a week, Miriam should be confined outside the camp as one who was unclean. Since Miriam was brought back into the camp, we know she had been healed, both physically and spiritually. For no one with leprosy would have been allowed back into the community, and God's healings always affect the spirit as well as the body. I'm going to read that little part again. God's healings always affect the spirit as well as the body. Never thought of it like that, but you are whole and he would heal all of you. Since she was the one punished, Miriam probably started this trouble, but it must not have been her usual sort of action. If the love with which her brothers immediately responded tells us anything, Aaron confessed their mutual sin and sought her healing. Moses quickly turned to God, showering his own forgiveness on his sister. Perhaps the prophet remembered that as a child, without her help, he might not have lived. Miriam died in Kadesh, according to Numbers chapter 20, verse 1, and was buried there. She was a God-gifted leader who held an important position in her nation and must have strongly led her people in belief. Though she was far from perfect, God gave Miriam a place of authority, and she misused it for a short time. Her punishment was also short-term, so she must have learned her lesson. If we are in positions of leadership, we also may fail. Let us not judge Miriam, but learn from her mistake. Many years of faithfulness, they do not armor us against sin. Every day the evil one tempts us. Only constant watchfulness keeps him from our door. Yet, when we draw close to Jesus, we can live faithfully in him. That is a beautiful story. To know that all of us come short from the glory of God. We have, we're still earthly beings. We're still on earth. We still have trials and temptations and things that come to us from the evil one. And I just want to say, if you are in a situation where maybe you're watching another YouTube channel and it's not a positive YouTube channel, it's a channel that might be putting people down or finding fault in everything that people do, or maybe they're being the judge and the jury. They have no right to be. I know we all see things. We all see things that are going on that we might not like. But I'm going to tell you, you are not to play the judge and jury on anyone. I think that if you are a born-again Christian and God saved your soul, you're making a mistake by watching those channels. They're not positive. We're not supposed to live in negativity. This world is negative enough. if I find myself being drawn to that, I just won't watch them. It's not right. We don't know what people say to the Lord before they lay their head down at night to go to sleep. If they have made a mistake, then they'll take that up with the Lord. It's not our business. None of us are perfect. Now, if you find that some of the things, the rumors or whatever, they may be true, then don't watch either of the channels. Find somebody out there that's going to lift you up. You know, I know for a fact that the more that you are around negativity, the more that you listen to negative people, the more negative you're going to be. And it's not going to make you happy. I know this for a fact. I've lived it, so I'm telling you it's the truth. Stay away. Make it a point. I actually made it a point to not even watch the news for months. And I kept away from negativity as much as I could. And it changed me. It made me realize that I don't want that in my life. I don't want that in my life. And I still struggle. I still have to tell myself, no, don't get involved. Or no, Nina, don't watch that. Or don't listen to that. So I don't know why I said that at the end. Apparently, maybe somebody needed it or I needed reinforcement for myself. But just to let you guys know, I love you all and I thank you for taking the time out to watch this. If you're still here watching with me and, you know, being here with me, I appreciate it. It's a beautiful day. And get out there and smile. Get out there and show someone that might be walking past you that's having a rough day. Maybe they're filled with negativity, or maybe they live with someone that's negative. Just give them a smile or say, hi, how you doing? My oldest grandson is the best at that. When I had him, when his mommy was in the hospital, we were at the hospital, and every person that he walked by, a nurse, someone there visiting, someone ill, we had no idea what they were at the hospital doing. Maybe they were getting admitted. I don't know. But Leland would go by and he would say, hi. Sometimes he would say, how are you doing? And with a smile. And most of the people walking toward us wouldn't even look at us. They just were looking down at the ground with a frown or looking at their phone. And every one of them looked up when he said that. And he's taller than Grammy. He's taller than me. And when he would say that, they all would say, well, hi, young man, or hi, how are you? And I told him, I am so proud of him. I am so proud of him. Just a simple hi and a smile can brighten somebody's day that maybe they're lost. Maybe they're sad. Maybe they lost someone. Be kind. It gets easier. Every single time you do it, it's easier. So, all right, till next time. God bless you all, and thanks again for being here with me. Take care.